Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ken's Show and Tell. This is the last week of June 2023. I'm going to do a little investigation on my 1972 Mercedes-Benz 280 SE with a 4.5 liter V8 in it. And I'm going to do some fuel system investigation. And one thing I'm going to do is check the fuel pressure at the fuel rails. So let me get set up. The first thing we're going to do is remove this 10 millimeter nut, and then we're going to take off this temperature sensor here. It's air temperature. Let's just disconnect it, and once we take that off, then we can lift this whole air cleaner cover off and expose the fuel delivery system beneath. With the car started with no problem, with the cold start injector disconnected. I have this piece of hose temporarily put in between the fuel rail and the cold start injector right here, and then a straighter valve in between here, and here's my pressure gauge looking at fuel pressure, and you can see it's sitting right at 30. Right at 30, and that's kind of in the perfect range. The 2 bar, you see 30 pounds, 2 bar reading there. So I'm going to let it warm up. RPMs at this point. Turn on the light here so you can see. Remember, I have a installed tachometer. Okay, temperature has climbed just a little bit. It is above 100. That's good. Idle, I like the idle sitting right around 1,000. Alright, it's looking good. Let me shut the lights off here. The exhaust note sounds good. And let's see if we hear any whooshing. No. That's good. So we'll just have to see. I'm just curious if I'm holding vacuum, because I had one serious hot start issue about a week ago when we've been driving, and of course the engine was very warmed up and it was just hell to get started. Perfect pressure. Go around here and look at the temp gauge. Alright, 175, that's good warm-up temperature. We are idling a little over 1,000. I think I'll lower that just a little bit. But things look good, so I'll lower the RPM just a smidgen, and then shut the engine off, and then we'll come back and check it. Well, it's been a little over 30 minutes. Let's go look at the fuel gauge. Oh yeah, look, it hasn't moved. Ah, that's beautiful. Like 2, 4, 6. It's dropped from 30 to 28. I think that's. I mean, and when you look at the specs on these things when they're running, 27 to 30, and this has dropped to 28 in a half hour. I think that's very good, and I'm happy with the way all these hoses and everything look. So it doesn't look like I have any leak down, and so I did build up a little vacuum in the fuel tank, not really as bad as it was prior to me repairing the ventilation system on it. So I just have to keep an eye on it, I think. So I'm very pleased with this. One thing I thought about, and it may be a bad idea, but I can try it and just see, is removing the rubber gasket around the fuel filler cap. And just see. I know that will definitely make it vent. The fuel filler cap does have a venting mechanism in it, but I'm just wondering about that rubber gasket around the cap itself. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me pull it out. I mean, I know the gasket is there for a reason, and I don't know if you can see down in there, but there's the valve. It's spring loaded, and it's supposed to vent, and that spring, I guess, is supposed to overcome any vacuum. But I know that my tank continues to have venting problems. See, there's a little hole right there, and here's another one over here. See, right there, and right up here. And so this gasket's easy to pull out. So I just might do that next time I take the car for a ride, especially on a warm day, and see what happens. I think the worst thing that would happen is that the back end will smell like gasoline due to vapors escaping, but we'll just have to see. But for right now, I'm really pleased to find out that I don't have a leak in my system. The fuel pump is working great. The hoses that feed the injectors are nice and supple. They're not hard and cracked. And all my flexible hoses on the rails are really good too. And especially this one down here that often, now I can reach it because the engine's not running, often gets neglected, and I can see all the way through. It looks fine. I can see down through there. Let's see, after sitting for a half hour and with the fuel pressure like it is, which you can see on the gauge, if the car will start. See if it has any trouble starting. I didn't try that. Let's give that a try. Let's get in the rascal here. Okay, let's just go ahead and turn on our lights first here. You can see the temp gauge. All right, there we go. Settles right in. Nice idle. Oh yeah. Okay, well, thank you for watching Ken's Show and Tell.